Today's top stories at NBR: agri-tech firm gears up to move into Canterbury, powering Bitcoin mining, boring oat milk, and there's more coming right up. Kia ora and welcome to NBR Today, a wrap of the day's top business stories from the authority in New Zealand business news since 1970, nbr.co.nz. It's Tuesday, August 31st. I'm Paul Brennan. Thank you so much for joining us. Kiwi Bank Chief Economist Jared Kerr is predicting an undervalued Kiwi dollar could break the 75 cents mark against the US dollar by the end of this year, as the Reserve Bank starts hiking interest rates ahead of its central bank counterparts. Basically, the Kiwi flyer is back to where we were before the lockdown was announced. If the Reserve Bank hikes as expected in October and again in November, the Kiwi should end the year higher and closer to 75 to 77 cents, Kerr said. New Zealand's widening interest rate differentials in the Kiwi's favour and near record terms of trade had Kiwi Bank placing fair value closer to 75 cents. After a successful Waikato pilot, agri-tech firm Holter is gearing up to move into Canterbury, representing its first move in a planned global expansion. Backed by the likes of NBR lister Peter Beck and Sir Stephen Tyndall's K1W1, the company makes Calgorithm, a smart collar that allows farmers to automate herd movements, create virtual fences, and receive health alerts for individual cows through a mobile app. The device and software is leased on a per-cow subscription basis based on the features farmers want to be enabled, and the Canterbury region provides an opportunity of more than 1 million cows. Founder and Chief Executive Craig Pickett said the technology would change the lives of dairy farmers in the region who work some of the longest shifts in the country. Fund manager NZ Funds has launched a zero fees option in its KiwiSaver scheme, available only through financial advisors. The Balance Fund will be passively managed, investing half its assets in equities and half in fixed interest securities. The investment exposures may be achieved through direct investment via an index tracking futures contract or an index tracking fund. The investments will be managed by NZ Funds in-house. NZ Funds Chief Executive Michael Lang said they want to encourage New Zealanders to talk to a financial advisor. A data centre to be built near Clyde and supplied with energy from the Clyde Dam appears to be part of plans for a Bitcoin mining fund based in the Cayman Islands. The dam's owner, Contact Energy, announced the data centre scheme in a statement to the NZX this morning, saying it had applied for resource consent to build it on its land south of the dam beside the Clutha River. Contact would supply 10 megawatts of electricity to the centre, which would be built by UK-based company Lake Parami. Contact Chief Executive Mike Fudge said the company expected to see increased demand from overseas companies seeking secure renewable energy sources. When Morgan Moore set out to make fully New Zealand-made oat milk made in New Zealand with locally grown oats, she didn't anticipate quite how tough it would be. 3 years and $700,000 later, her new brand, Boring Oat Milk, is launching in stores in September with a first run of 20,000 litres, and Moore wants the nascent sector to work together to promote New Zealand as a top-notch oat milk producer. Morgan Moore joined the NBR's Nicola Shepherd.
And so it was about 3 years ago I saw what was happening in overseas with oat milk, and that oat milk was quickly overcoming soy milk as the second best-selling milk in the UK and America. And I thought, it makes no sense that we've got all these UHT lines in New Zealand, we've got all this stainless steel and processing, plus we're a farming nation. Why can't we make the oat milk here? So that was 3 years ago. And here we are today.
Boring Oat Milk founder Morgan Moore with Nicola Shepherd there. Delegate Group has appointed Pāmu Landcorp Chief Executive Stephen Carden as its new Managing Director, starting at the end of January next year. Carden will finish at Pāmu in December after nearly 8 years leading the country's largest farming entity. Delegate Group Executive Chair Jim Delegate told NBR Carden would add a global perspective and capability to the NZX-listed wine business, and going on to say his strategic thinking capability and expertise in growing international businesses, focusing on creating an environment where people can achieve their potential, was an ideal match for the company. The full details of those stories and more are at nbr.co.nz right now. Tomorrow at NBR, a look at whether even a level 4 lockdown can slow down the country's raging property market, and ACT leader David Seymour weighs in on the government's latest COVID response. I'm Paul Brennan. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow from around lunchtime for the morning's NBR trending stories. Then same time, same place, right here again from 5:30 for another NBR Today.